Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So let's get straight into this topic here. So as you guys know, the San Antonio Spurs lost game one to the New York Knicks. I think they beat them 10 by 10 points, 105-95. Yes. And it was a shocker. Especially given the fact that the Spurs at one time led, I think in the second half by like 14 points, and the Knicks had a 22 point turnaround. It was pretty impressive. You had players like OG Anunoby hitting some very big timely three-pointers to bring him back in the game. And then, of course, Jalen Brunson took over in the fourth quarter with 13 points, proving why he's one of the most devastating players, fourth quarter players that we have in the NBA. And the Spurs were able, the Knicks were able to make a improbable comeback and steal game one on the road of the NBA Finals. So now the pressure has shifted to the Spurs to ensure that they win game two. Otherwise, this is going to be a very quick series, and I still think it's going to be a long series. And I look for the Spurs to bounce back in game two. I mean, for goodness sakes, to just beat the NBA champions. Although the New York Knicks are on an incredible tear, I think they now won 12 playoff games in a row, 12 or 13 playoff games in a row by an incredible margin. So they're the hottest team in NBA playoff history right now, this New York Knicks team. And you had guys like OG Anunoby, who I mentioned before, had 17 points. He had 3 of 6 threes. Karl Anthony Towns had 18 and 12. He was huge. Mikal Bridges had 9. Brunson had 30. You had Landry Shamet, who came off the bench and hit some very key three-pointers, threes off the bench with 13 points. And if you look at the Spurs side, Devin Vassell, he had 9 points. Julian Champagnie had 16. Victor had 26 and 12. Wasn't enough, obviously. Stephon Castle had 17 points in the game. De'Aaron Fox is the one that really stood out. He only had 7 points on 3 of 13 shooting from the field. So he was very bad for the Spurs. Dylan Harper, the rookie, he had 16 points, and I think he came off the bench with that in 27 minutes. So that was pretty much the tell of the tape. So after the game, everybody went live. We went live, but one of the shows that went live as well was Nightcap. And they, of course, spoke about the Spurs. So they got to a particular point where Shannon Sharpe was criticizing Victor Wembanyama for not controlling his breathing in the game, early in the game, and how he tired himself out very early. And he was essentially calling him out for not doing a good enough job in managing himself in the game. But before we even get into what Shannon had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. The NBA Finals are here, and for me, the basketball doesn't stop once they crown a champion, because this summer of sports is genuinely stacked. I have been making all my picks on Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. Here's what I genuinely enjoy about it. During the finals, I'm making picks on points, rebounds, and three-pointers, and then I can stack those player picks with soccer, baseball, or the W, and even bigger payouts. It is simply selecting more or less on a few player stats, putting them into one lineup, and following along within the same app. And it's now available in all 50 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Florida. In the finals, this is where legacies are made. You can get in on one of the biggest games of the season and make your picks on everything from points and rebounds to dunks, three-pointers, and fantasy score, all before the champion is crowned. Prize Picks is a preferred partner of the NBA, making every game even more exciting to watch. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks, a preferred partner of the NBA. All right, perfect. So what we want to do now is I'm going to play what Shannon Sharpe had to say here. I want you guys to take a look at what he said, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show.
The game on how they can get Wemby more involved, we got to get him moving and spacing towards the rim, whether that's on rolls or running in transition. We need to do a better job of establishing that early. They do.
Yeah.
But he needs to do a better job himself, because he's gotten so comfortable, Joe, hanging out by the three-point line and getting the ball way out there. And then it's taken – before we go, I think he needs to do a better job of breathing Joe, 2 minutes into the game, he's dead tired.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's gassed, Joe. He's hyperventilating.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's running a mile and he's running the first 400 meters in 49 seconds, Ocho. Bro, you got 3 more laps to go. He's going so hard. If
Yeah.
you look at him, he's literally hyperventilating. 2 times up the court, and he's got his hands on his short and he's doubled over.
Yeah.
It's probably the moment.
Yeah,
too,
it
right?
is. It is. It is. He wants to do well.
First playoff
Gotta
game.
slow it down to Ocho.
Yeah, just relax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. Take a couple deep breaths. But yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it is the moment. He wants to win so bad that, you know, he's going out throwing his wide so early, playing hard so early that he's gassing out real quick. Yeah, you're right. And you can see it. So I think he's got to be better in a few different areas, in which I think he will. But if I'm the Knicks, bro, we gonna make it tough for you. Ocho,
Yes.
you ain't gonna be able to catch it inside that three and be comfortable. The only time you're gonna be comfortable is catching it outside the three to where you can face up and kind of go off the dribble. And guess what? We're gonna live with that. We feel like we have the advantage in that aspect. Wemby he's gonna have to will his way through this, bro. This is the finals. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna have to will his way through this, and I think he's capable of doing it, but he has to be better with efficiency. You know what I mean? Because I think when he's efficient, it helps out the guys around him. It makes the game a lot easier for those guys around him. Because when he's not, then now we don't have to overhelp. We don't have to send a double.
No.
And now you got guys like Vassell and Champagny. They ain't really getting wide open shots. Fox ain't getting no wide open shots. Everybody's having to create off the dribble throughout chaos, and it just wasn't great for him tonight.
And you got guys, look, every guy they got, with the exception of Champagny, can take you off the bounce. Champagny is great at spotting up. Yeah. And if you run him off the spot, he'll sidestep and get back to the three, so he can make that. But if you look at Vassell can take you off the bounce. Obviously, Fox, Castle, and Harper. But I thought the Knicks did a great job tonight of not succumbing to being on the road, being down 13.
So you heard what he had to say. Now, I know there's some people that are going to be watching this and saying, Charles, man, come on, man. This is his first time in the NBA Finals. Like, you're being a little bit too critical. Look, I have nothing against Shannon Sharpe or anybody else holding Victor Wembanyama accountable. None whatsoever. And we're not in excuses making, but that's something LeBron fans do. If Victor loses this championship, LeBron fans would be like, well, it's his first time in the championship, so what do you expect? And that's them. You can't hold him against them, or they'll use, you didn't have enough help. That's LeBron fans. We're not doing that. No, you didn't win, man. You weren't good enough. Be better. If you win and you do well, we'll give you heavy praise. If you don't, you should be called out. Why? Because heavy's the head that wears the crown. If Victor has these kind of expectations to potentially be the GOAT of basketball, well, that comes with a lot of, scrutiny. Because when he does well, they're going to praise him to the high heavens. But when he doesn't, he's going to be held accountable. I know that's something that we have not been used to in sports media as of late, because LeBron has always ran away from criticism, and he hates being criticized, and his fans always come up for excuses for him, and they're already finding ways to hate on Victor Wembanyama. That's what they do. So they now have a new target for the next, I don't know how many years. But no, I have no issue with this. Because I remember the game when Victor had 41 and 24 in the first game of the Western Conference Finals, and I heaped like a whole bunch of praise on him. People were like, no, man, it's too soon. What do you mean it's too soon? When am I supposed to praise him at the end of his career? No, he played well. You give him his flowers. The next game he didn't play so well, you call him out. That's how it works. So in this particular night, Victor played well, but not good enough. And he himself said that in a post-game interview, because I listened to him. He said he's not worried whatsoever. He has supreme confidence in himself and his team and his teammates, but he wasn't good enough. And the results agree that he simply wasn't good enough. And I have no issue with Shannon Sharpe criticizing. Par for the course. None whatsoever.